What's up, everybody? It's Mason back again with another little chart reading. Today I chose Michael Pitt, um, pretty good actor. Not an A-list actor or anything, I suppose, but yeah, he's been in a couple of my favorite movies, including one that made my prestigious top 100, which would be the 2001 film Bully, directed by Larry Clark. He plays Donnie in that movie, crazy acid head Donnie, and definitely Donnie. Okay, uh, and then also pretty well known for his role in Hedwig and the Angry Inch, which was maybe the same year. Anyway, so and Funny Games is another one, 2007 film. Yeah, it's a pretty intense role for him. Michael Pitt loves the intensity. Anyway, and I've had a short list of people that I've wanted to make chart reading videos for, and Michael wasn't on that list. Um, but I watched for the first time a film that he was in called Delirious, also starring Steve Buscemi from 2006. That was a pretty good film, but watching that, um, Michael plays a homeless character in that, and he's very disheveled and unkempt. But even though he's all sloppy and stuff, like he's still attractive. And Michael's just one of those. It just seems like you can't make him ugly. He just has that glow about him. Um, and I already knew he was an Aries, but I had this sort of feeling like I wonder if he's a Cancer rising or maybe a Cancer moon. He just had those moon eyes, I guess, maybe that moon face, that moon aura, you know. And so, being the little nerd I am, I calculated his chart, and lo and behold, he does have moon in Cancer. So that was kind of cool to see. And then, yeah, several Aries placements. So besides discovering that and thinking that I was cool that I was able to call that out, we're also in Aries season at the tail end of it anyway, and we're under a gigantic Aries stellium right now. So I just thought it'd be cool to do a reading for Michael Pitt. Yeah, he's an intense guy. So let's see what we're looking at here. So like I said, he's got that moon in Cancer, and the moon is at home in Cancer as the moon rules Cancer, a cardinal water sign. Um, with moon in Cancer, a very sensitive guy, a very empathetic guy, empathetic. Lord. All right. And great intuition. Um, he probably maybe more in his private relationships as it's the moon. He might make it easy, like people are comfortable confiding in him or emotionally engaging with him. I mean, perhaps not only in his private relationships, but his audience as well, as you could see, like even myself sort of noticed that about him. He has that moon aura. So yeah, he's able to engage his audience emotionally as well, with a nice Cancer moon. And with all these Aries placements, I mean, really, it's only squaring his Mercury here, which we'll go into. But yeah, nice square aspects here, and nice oppositions here with a few Libra planets, which also will square the moon. So we're looking at a T square. Yeah, okay, and then we'll come over to his Aries planets. Also, to introduce him properly, we have Michael Pitt, born April 10th, 1981, in West Orange, New Jersey. Birth time here is 5 a.m., but that's not accurate. I mean, most likely, but we don't know the birth time. So what I did was manipulate the chart to show Aries rising, just to put all the planets in their um, where they belong, I guess, in the chart. So we won't be able to really talk about the houses in Michael's chart because we don't know the birth time. And while, we love knowing the birth time because it gives us more depth, into someone's charts, I thought it'd be a good way to practice just, reading a chart without a birth time and just going over the planetary placements themselves and some of the aspects. So we can still do a little reading without the time. All right, so looking at these Aries placements. So a very energetic guy, very, masculine, confident, all big Aries traits typically. So Sun in Aries, and he's got Mars right on top of it. Mars at home in Aries. Mars, the planet of action and energy and sex drive. So that will just emphasize his energy. So both of those together, extremely energetic and courageous, fierce, born to lead, um, may come off as militant at times, perhaps, and also may come off as cruel, defiant, and perhaps overconfident, with Mars conjunct his sun. But passionate about asserting his identity, willing to fight for the freedom just to be himself with all that Aries. And yeah, Mars and Aries conjunct the sun, high sex drive, I'm sure, and probably enjoys sexual conquests and perhaps tendency to not handle rejection very well. I think recently in the news I saw that his girlfriend has a protection order against him, so yeah, Michael's not being a very nice guy. He needs to work with his Libra placements a little bit better, perhaps, and also, notable since Saturn is currently in Aries, it's going to be really on top of his Mercury because it's an early degree, but it's approaching his Sun and his Mars, so he's going to feel, he's going to learn some lessons in these areas. I'm going to feel extra pressure on himself, extra responsibility, extra societal pressure, pressure from the law with Saturn in there. So, yeah. All right. Hopefully, he learns to calm himself down and, treat his women the right way, treat others the right way. Of course, with Saturn and Libra, that's a lesson for him. Okay. And then, yeah, Sun conjunct Venus, a beautiful aspect. People with Sun conjunct Venus, whatever sign, usually is, um, it's what makes them beautiful, attractive people. Typically have that aspect, or Venus in the first house. There's tons of things. But anyway, he seems like a person where Venus conjunct the Sun would make sense, giving him a very handsome and boyish appearance, due to it being an Aries as well, and extremely charming as Venus, the planet of beauty and aesthetic and love. This will increase his confidence, no doubt. I'm sure that he knows he's good looking. His agents and his photographers have probably reiterated that to him a lot, and to really embrace uh, looking good, as that will bring him a lot of success. And he's got a very unique appearance, in my opinion, just very captivating. Um, I wouldn't think that, and especially because it's in Aries, that doesn't mean he's lazy, like it just comes to him naturally. I would think that he has a good workout schedule and he emphasizes good nutrition. He believes in taking care of his body. He honors his bodily health and, has his own unique style of fashion for sure. And then Aries Mercury, Mercury, the planet of thinking and communication, the mind itself. So, of course, with Mercury and Aries, he's probably a very fast thinker, very makes him very competitive. Aries Mercury, this is what I think, and I'm going to say it. I'm not going to, take too much time considering the consequences of that. I'm just going to say what I think, me, and take it or leave it. Aries Mercury. Um, so, with the degrees here, Aries, Mercury squaring Cancer Moon. Um, so, an aggressive speaker, an aggressive mind, but the moon will sort of throw some water on that. He might react to situations impulsively and insensitively, not caring in the moment who he hurts, but then be extremely apologetic after his blow up. Do the whole, I'm sorry, I don't know why I said that. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. He probably might cry a lot and just, yeah, sort of act brashly and then be really apologetic. And probably due to his charm, he could probably get away with it some of the time. Um, let's see. I think Aries, Mercury, square Cancer moon is, it could be, he can dish it out, but he can't take it, maybe. So he could lash out, but if someone else lashes out at him and his emotional response is probably, yeah, he's probably going to be easily offended, easily hurt, I suppose, and maybe even hold on to that a little bit more than he should with Moon in Cancer, tends to maybe hold trauma. All right, and talking about some of his lovely Libra placements, Jupiter and Saturn conjunct in Libra. So Jupiter in Libra, good fortune and abundance comes from his collaborative efforts, the relationships that he makes in the entertainment industry. Um, Perhaps an indulgence and I'm sure a fascination with beauty and art with Jupiter in Libra, loves to be surrounded by beauty and art, maybe has high standards. And of course, Jupiter in Libra, naturally charming. Lots of charm in this boy's chart. Uh, and intensity. Charm and intensity are big themes, I think. And yeah, Jupiter conjunct Saturn, which is sort of a fun aspect, in my opinion. It gives him the ability to balance optimism with realism. He's a very ambitious and strong-willed person who understands that great achievements take time, Saturn. But no doubt has still been blessed with plenty of success along the way with Jupiter. Um, and again, those will typically come from his relationships in the entertainment industry and embracing his personal artistic expression. Jupiter conjunct Saturn may also express as periods of excessive optimism or extreme pessimism, a real back and forth. Right. And we got Jupiter opposite his Mercury, directly opposite both 3 degrees. So with this opposition, perhaps torn between speaking his mind and maintaining harmony, with Saturn opposite Mercury, may feel restriction in terms of being heard. Um, I also think like an Aries Mercury will speak very brashly and maybe just go off. And his Saturn opposition here, especially in Libra, will add some elegance to the way that he speaks or refine the way that he speaks. Dull his speech, not dull as in boring, I guess, but sort of take the edge off that Aries intensity, perhaps. And this is what I see when I watch interviews with him or even in his movies. Um, but maybe specifically in interviews because it's him, the actual guy. But yeah, he's interesting to listen to talk, but there is sort of an elegant and refined manner of speech. Like maybe he can still be like fiery and maybe like, kind of a dick with Mercury and Aries, but there's something about him that's just a little bit, it comes off perhaps elegant. Um, so yeah. And then, lesson or Saturn and Aries or Saturn and Libra in general, lessons in how to talk to people nicely. Maybe that's something that he's had to sort of refine over time, Saturn and Libra. Just, yeah, don't be don't be so mean and brash. Think about how you speak towards others. Because if you don't, Saturn's going to kick your butt a little bit. All right. Um, what else? And other oppositions, Pluto opposite Sun, Venus, Mars. So yeah, just more intense relationships, um, intense struggles between the need for self-assertion and relationship or societal expectations. Pluto opposite Venus, very apparent instant attractions and intense relationships, I'm sure. Um, Last cool thing, Neptune here. Neptune is trining his sun, Venus, and Mars. Neptune in Sagittarius, a fire sign. So with Aries, it is a good trine. And this, he's an actor, he's a performer, very magical person in general, so I could see that. But it really comes through in his portrayal of Tommy Gnosis in Hedwig and the Angry Inch. Um, a Neptune trining the sun, very dreamy and imaginative. Mars will add a level of mystique and sort of an ethereal vibe to his sexual expression. And of course, Neptune trining Venus. Um, Wants to connect on a spiritual level when it comes to his relationships, engage in imagination and dreams that, that could be a big turn on for him. And yeah, he just exudes this magical, charming, boyish energy. Um, a really great actor, and yeah, like, I also he portrays intensity really well and sort of the bad boy really well. He's like in funny games when he's obviously a very evil person, but he's just so charming. And the way that he speaks, he just seems to kind of get away with things. People give him the benefit of the doubt. Um, and I even remember him in an episode of Law and Order SVU. Every actor's done a SVU episode, but he played like this sociopathic, really smart ass kid who helped the detectives find another serial killer. But he just plays that so well, just like that sort of psychopath that everybody sort of finds charming and can't believe is such an evil person. He just looks so nice and handsome. But yeah, there's a deeper side to him. Lots of Pluto opposition intensity. The dynamic of the Aries Libra opposition is fascinating. The importance of being yourself, standing up for yourself, but also considering others. Fascinating astrological dynamic, as are all the oppositions of the signs. And then, of course, that square. So he is sensitive, he is emotional, and perhaps he had a really, nurturing mother. Of course, it would be great to see where these planets are as far as the houses, to know more. But yeah, he is an emotional person, but really on the outside, on the surface, he is fiery and masculine. But he's got some lessons to learn as far as considering others, and if he continues to act like an asshole and not considering what he's saying or doing to others, especially those close to him, he's going to learn some harsh lessons, and it's going to kill his ability to achieve success. Um, yeah, and the law will come and get him. Anyway, but yeah, Michael Pitt, fun doing a little chart reading. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Peace.